In the quaint village of Wizardshire, nestled between lush green hills and gleaming rivers, all spoke of young Timothy. In a land where magic danced like morning sunlight on dew, Timothy was known far and wide as the wizard who couldn't do magic. His heart, however, was full of dreams and the promise of one day mastering the magical arts. Every morning, Timothy watched his peers spin new spells and brew bubbling potions with ease. "Look, Timothy, watch this," called Clara as golden sparks flew from her wand, forming a shower of twinkling stars above her head. Timothy clapped enthusiastically, wishing he could do the same. But when he tried to make the smallest of sparks, all that came forth was a tiny puff of smoke. One bright morning, as Timothy stared at his reflection in the shimmering river, questions filled his mind like swirling autumn leaves. "Why can't I do magic like everyone else?" he wondered aloud. Just then, the village elder, old Magister Oakley, who was wise beyond his years, appeared by the riverside. With a gentle smile, he tapped Timothy on the shoulder. "Young Timothy," Elder Oakley began, "I have seen many wizards in my time, and not all were born with spells on their lips. The greatest magic often starts with a journey of the heart." Timothy's eyes widened. "A journey? But where should I go?" "To the great magical library," the elder advised, his voice as soothing as a lullaby. "There lies the ancient book of lost spells. Perhaps it holds the key you seek." Timothy nodded, his heart beating with determination. Though he had never wandered far from Wizardshire, the idea of finding his magical spark filled him with courage. Packing a small satchel with the essentials, a loaf of bread, a flask of water, and a cherished map, he bid farewell to his family and friends at dawn. His path was winding and mysterious, lined with towering trees whose leaves whispered in the wind. Timothy marvelled as he walked, each step filled with excitement and the promise of discovery. As the sun dipped behind the hills, Timothy found himself at a fork in the trail. Suddenly, a voice like tinkling bells echoed from the forest. "Going somewhere, young wizard?" it asked, a hint of mischief in its tone. Turning his head, Timothy saw a flickering light dancing among the shadows. It was a fairy, her wings shimmering with every hue imaginable. "I'm seeking the magical library," Timothy replied, feeling a mix of awe and apprehension. "Do you know the way?" "Ah, the magical library," the fairy giggled, her laughter like a gentle breeze. "It's only those with curiosity and courage who can find the true path. But remember, precious seeker, not all answers come from books." Before Timothy could ask more, the fairy vanished, leaving only the soft sound of rustling leaves in her wake. With a deep breath, he chose the left path, guided by a feeling within that had no word or name. Night came softly, blanketing the land in silver moonlight. Timothy made a small camp beneath an ancient oak, pondering the fairy's words. As he drifted off to sleep, dreams of swirling patterns and forgotten stories danced in his mind. The morning sun painted the sky in hues of pink and gold, awakening Timothy with its gentle warmth. His spirit felt bright, his heart alight with hope as he continued on his journey. Each step seemed lighter, the world around him richer with possibilities he had never before imagined. Timothy's heart sang with the promise of what lay ahead, his path now guided by more than just maps and stars. Courage and determination whispered through the air, and Timothy knew this journey would lead him somewhere special, perhaps to magic, perhaps to something more. Timothy continued along the winding path as the sun rose higher, painting dappled patterns on the forest floor. His heart was light, and though he occasionally stumbled, he promptly dusted himself off, his eyes fixed ahead. As he wandered deeper into the woods, he encountered a peculiar sound, a soft humming, like the gentle rumble of a distant storm. Curious, Timothy followed the sound and soon found himself at the edge of a tranquil clearing. In the centre, an ancient dragon lay coiled, its scales shimmering like emerald jewels. With eyes as deep as the galaxy, the dragon acknowledged Timothy's presence with a calm nod. "Greetings, young one," the dragon rumbled, its voice a deep, comforting melody. "What brings you to this part of the woods?" Timothy, though initially startled, gathered his courage and explained, "I'm seeking the magical library to find the Book of Lost Spells. I wish to become a true wizard." The dragon listened intently, then replied, "Ah, the library. Many have sought it, yet few understand its true nature. Tell me, what do you believe magic is?" Timothy pondered for a moment before answering. "I think magic is the power to change things, to bring joy and wonder to others." The dragon nodded thoughtfully. "Remember, true magic lies not in the spells you cast, but in the understanding you gain." With this cryptic wisdom, the dragon gently nudged a small, smooth stone towards Timothy. "Take this. It may guide you when the path grows unclear." Thanking the dragon, Timothy tucked the stone into his satchel and continued on his way, the dragon's words echoing in his mind. The road twisted and turned, each bend revealing new sights: a glistening waterfall, vibrant flowers, and trees standing like silent guardians. Though his journey was solitary, warmth filled Timothy's heart, nurtured by the kind encounters he had along the way. As the forest slowly gave way to open hills, Timothy felt a change, subtle and profound, like the stirring of a new song within. He was not only seeking magic, but learning to see it around him, in every stone, leaf, and breeze. Timothy climbed the last hill, feeling the gentle weight of the dragon's stone in his satchel. Below, nestled in a valley bathed in the golden glow of late afternoon, stood the magical library. It was grander than he had imagined, its walls glistening like the wings of a butterfly in the sun. With a heart full of anticipation, Timothy approached the towering doors. As if sensing his presence, they swung open silently, welcoming him into a world of wonder. Shelves stretched high and far, each lined with books filled with secrets and stories from all corners of the magical realm. Breathless with awe, Timothy began his search for the Book of Lost Spells. After what felt like mere moments, though the sun had already begun its descent, his fingers brushed against an ancient tome resting on a pedestal at the heart of the library. The book's cover was simple and unassuming, with only a single word etched in gold: Reflections. Opening it with care, Timothy discovered not words of power, but pages filled with thoughts on patience, belief, and diligence. The words resonated deeply within him, like a soft melody playing on his soul. Every page turned was a gentle reminder of the journey he undertook and the wisdom gathered along the way. And then, amidst the reflections, Timothy found a blank page. Puzzled, he looked closer and noticed faint words slowly appearing, as though written by an invisible hand. Magic is within everyone who believes in the strength of their own journey. At that moment, Timothy understood. The true magic was not in the spells themselves, but in the perseverance and heart he had shown. Filled with newfound confidence, he felt a warmth spreading from the stone in his satchel, a warmth that filled his entire being. With a grateful heart, Timothy returned to Wizardshire. The villagers watched in astonishment as he made flowers bloom and rivers flow with a simple touch, his magic now flowing as naturally as the wind through the hills. His journey had taught him that real magic blossoms from within, and he shared that truth with all who would listen. The village, inspired by Timothy's tale, embraced the quiet, enduring power of persistence. They learned that sometimes the greatest magic is found not in spells, but in the strength to believe in oneself and the journey embarked upon.
If you enjoyed this story, leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future content.